जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त बिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त बिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त बिंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Saturday. It is 22nd of November. It is Keshava Masa or Margasesha Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Shukla Paksham, Vidya Tithi. There are no Vaishnavins in the calendar. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreya Muni is speaking about the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So he is narrating that past times from the beginning of the creation to Vidura. So in the beginning of the creation, when all the planet systems they have made submerged in the water. So at that time, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So he is lying on the Adishesha snake in that ocean, in the devastating waters, Garbhodaka ocean. Okay, so at that time, his eyes were little bit of opened. It is called the Yoga Nidra. So likewise, he was mentioning, and further, that is Budaplutam Vishwam Idam Tadasid Yenidra Yamilita Idruk Nimilayat Nimilayat. So little bit of open. And his bed is Ahindra Talpe Adishayana Ekaha. Ahindra is called Adishesha is also called Ahindra. Ahindra Talpe Adishayana Ekaha. And then when he was lying there, Kritakshanaha Swatmaratu Nirihaha, he is enjoying with his internal potential in the Yoga Nidra. Okay, likewise, Kritakshanaha Swa Atmaratu Nirihaha. After saying that one to Vidura, Maitreya Muni further saying how the Lord is lying on that one, on the Adishesha, in connection with the living entities, all the living entities. So what about sometimes we ask when a Lord is lying there, what about the living entity? There are so many creatures on this planet. What about them? So immediately, now Maitreya Muni is saying, all these living entities, they have without the material bodies, and these living entities within their subtle bodies, their material bodies got unmanifested. Now they have merged all of their ingredients within the five Panchabhutas. Now they have got only the subtle elements. All the subtle bodies, they are situated within the body of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. They are situated in the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And giving how they are situated, giving an analogy. So if we see the firewood, a stick, within that stick, fire is already there. And whenever it needs kind of a agitation, so that fire would come out from the wood. When the two woods, maybe two sticks, two bamboo sticks, when they're rubbing each other, fire comes out of it in due course of time. And then here it needs the Lord's influence, or Lord's glance on it to happen it. So here, coming to this point, Maitreya Muni is saying that all the living entities, they are situated within the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Okay, so likewise, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 8, verse number 11. सोऽन्तः शरीरेऽर्पित भूत सूक्ष्मः कालात्मिकं शक्तिमुदीरयानः उवास तस्मिन् सरले पदे स्वे यथा नलोद्धारिणिरुद्धवीर्यः. So Antaha Sarire, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Antaha within his body, Sarire in the transcendental body. His body is completely purely spirit. Our bodies are made up of the Panchabhutas. These are Bhumira Ponalo Vayukam Mano Buddhirevacha Ahankariti me Bhinna Prakriti Rastada. This is the Bhinna Prakriti. But Lord's body is the transcendental. So that so Antaha Sarire Arpita Bhota Sukshmaha. Arpita, they have the Lord has kept all the living entities. This is Bhota, material, both Sukshmaha in their subtle forms. So Antaha Sarirapite Bhota Sukshmaha Kalatmikam in the form of time, Shaktim, Kalatmikam Shaktim, Udirayanaha, Udira, Udirayanaha, that is invigorating. So they will come, the living entities. So here in due course in the night time we always sleep at particular time, and then when the time comes automatically we wake up. How to wake up? That sleeping is sufficient. But similarly all the living entities they situate within the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. They are in the complete deep slumber, that is Susupta. So the Lord kept all these living entities within his body. Kalatmikam Sekti Vidirayanaha. Once that time completes, these living entities they will sprout in the form from his navel. From his navel. In a lotus flower comes, and where Lord Brahma, the first living entity, and then he goes through the meditation, and then further using the ingredients of the lotus flower, the stem of the lotus flower, he makes the different planetary systems, and then he creates again secondary visarga, giving the material bodies to the all the living entities. So antaha sarirapte bhut sukshmaha kalatmikam shaktim udirayanaha. Uvasa tasmin sarare padesve Uvasa, and he resided tasmin therein within his body. Was tasmin salile in that water. So now Garbhodak Sai Vishnu is within that water. Pade in the place, Shwe his own. Yata analo daruni ruddhaviryaha. Yata analo, as much as the analaha is the fire. Daruni, daruni is in the fuel wood. Okay. Likewise, ruddhaviryaha, and ruddhaviryaha is submerged stand. All the living entities are within the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So that is so antaha sariripte bhut sukshmaha kalatmikam shakti mudirayanaha vovasa tasmin sarale padesve yata naloddarini ruddhaviryaha. Okay, translation. Just like the strength of fire within the fuel wood, the Lord remained within the water of dissolution, submerging all the living entities in their subtle bodies. He lay in the self-invigorated energy called Kala. Super put by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request Jai Vaid Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Pray for the noise in the background. After the three worlds, the upper, lower, and middle planetary systems merged into the water of dissolution. The living entities of all the three worlds remained in their subtle bodies by dint of the energy called Kala. In this dissolution, the gross bodies became unmanifest, but the subtle bodies existed, just like the water of the material creation. Thus, the material energy was not completely wound up, as is the case in the full dissolution of the material world. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here, after the three worlds, the upper, lower, and middle planet systems merged in the water of the dissolution. So here, the living entities of the three worlds remained in their subtle bodies by dint of the energy called Kala. So in the next shloka, it is described like the Kala ki asita karma tantra lokana pitan dadrushe swadehe. Kala kya saditaha. But we will see that shloka next. But here, the energy is called Kala. The Lord stays within that water for the 1,000 yuga cycles. And later on, this Kala Kyasita Karma Tantro, in order to perform those activities. And also Lord will see his body is turning into bluish color. Lokan Apitan. Apitan is, it is described as the bluish color. Apitan Dadrushe Swadehe. So until that point, it is called subtle body. All the three worlds remained in their subtle bodies by the dint of the energy called Kala. Here, whenever three worlds are submerged into the waters means up to the Maharloka, the all Atala, Vitala, Satala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, all these bottom planetary systems and Bhu Bhuvar Suvarloka, and these were until Maharloka. So Maharloka would not be submerged, and all below that they will be submerged into the waters. And the demigods who are living in the like the Bhorloka and Suvarloka, they will go upper planetary systems during that time. Maharloka like that. And most pious souls, they will go up further along with their associates. Okay, so that is what that was described in the second canto by Sukadeva Goswami. So that is whenever it is upper planetary systems, it is upper planetary systems up to Maharloka. Where Maharloka is where Dhruv Maharaj is situated. Dhruv Loka is there. That is also that is eternal. Okay, and then further in this dissolution, the gross bodies became unmanifest, but the subtle bodies existed. Gross bodies, they would not have shape. It is our practical experience. After 100 years, the body will be decomposed and submerged into all the five elements. That will become unmanifest. But the subtle bodies exist. Some living entities, they have got desires, but they don't get material body yet to fulfill their desires, pains and pleasures to experience. Until that point, they will suffer it within their subtle bodies. Sometimes they are called pisacha bodies, and they, in order to fulfill their desires, they will take the body of some other weak personality, haunt the body of other people, and then try to fulfill their desires. It is so many people. It is a practical experience of many other people. We might not have seen, but there are few people, and who are weaker in the mind and intelligence, like that. Okay, so but the subtle bodies existed, but just like the water of the material creation. And then thus the material energy was not completely wound up, as is the case in the full dissolution of the material world. Material water, it is not complete. So we still there is still water is there, and within the water again in the creation takes place. First is the sound vibrations, and then from the sound later on sense of touch, sense of seeing, sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of taste, and then sense of smell. This is the way how they get created. And also the sky, the air, and then fire and water, and then the earth. In a sequentially, they will be created. So once they are created, now the material that is the manifested, that energy is still there. It is not completely wound up, as is the case in the full dissolution of the material world. In the full dissolution, that will be also annihilated. Okay, so here if we see the again our Garbhodak Sai Vishnu in our Goloka chart. So he is lying in the Garbhodaka ocean, all the living entities submerged within his body. Like the Lord stays there for 1,000 yuga cycles. Okay, so and this particular one, even everyone knows about this particular theory in the Srimad Bhagavatam when Krishna was coming from Hastinapura to Dwaraka. At that time, the Hastinapura women they glorify Krishna. They glorify Krishna, mentioning that comparing with the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. This is the personality who existed before the creation. सवैक्यलायं पुरुषः पुरातनो एकासीद् अविशेषात्मनि अग्रे गुणेभ्यो जगदात्मनीश्वरे निमीलितात्मन् निशिशुप्तशक्तिषु. So this woman, they are sitting together and discussing by looking at Krishna, showing this is the personality. Do you know, my dear friend? So this is like Anyonyamasi Sanjalpa. They are chit-chatting each other. Uttama Shloka Chetasam about the pastimes of the Lord. And Kauravendra Purastrinam, the women of the Kuru dynasty. Kauravendra Purastrinam Sarvasruti Manoharaha. It is so beautiful. It is appearing Sarvasruti Manoharaha. So there are discussions like that. This Krishna, Savai, this particular personality, Savai Kilayam Purushaha Puratano, he is the oldest personality. Ekasid Avisheshatmani, he existed before the creation. Ekasid Avisheshatmani, Agre Gunebhyo Jagadatmanishware, Nimilitatma Nishishupta Sektishu, and all the living beings submerged within his body, as if he is sleeping at the night. Their energy was suspended. Nishishupta Sektishu. And then later on, Sayev Bhuyo Nijiviri Choitam Swajiva Mayam Prakritim Sisrukritim. Again, when the time comes, all the living entities, they will come out from the body of the Lord. Sayev Bhuyaha. Again. Nijiviri Choitam. In their forms, Nijiviri Choitam. Swajivamayam Prakritim Sisrukshatim. Swajivamayam Prakritim Sisrukshatim. They will be created again to carry out their activities which were suspended for the time being. Until that point, Anama Rupa Natmani Rupa Namani. Until that point, they did not have any names and forms. Now they will get a name and form. Anama Rupatmani Rupa Namani. Vidit Samano Anusasara Shastrakrut. Vidit Samano Anusasara Shastrakrut. According to the nature, according to the nature and according to the revealed scriptures, they will get the forms and the names like that. Vidit Samano. And then Savayam Yatpadamatra Suryo Jitendra Nijitap Matarishvanaha Pasyanti Bhakti Utkalitammalatmana Nanveshatvam Parimastu Marahati. So there again, now they have got name and form and performing those activities. Again, at the same time, the Lord also arranges that they will be taking the path of devotional service to purify their existence. So here did they mention Pasyanti Bhakti Utkalita Malatmana Nanveshatvam Parimastu Marhati. So this is whenever we go to some particular place, for example, exploring a big forest, we must remember how we are entering and how to come out as well. How to come out from the forest. If we forget how to come out, if we lose that knowledge, then we will stuck up there. and then wandering here and there, and then go through so many miseries. So here, when we remember Krishna, now we have entered into the material world, which is full of miseries. Now we must remember Krishna so that when we are winding up these pastimes here in this world, and then to go back to the real position, the real home, back to Godhead. This is the Lord arranges Pasyanti Bhakti Utkalita Amalatmana, the path or the knowledge which is left here in this world, taking that knowledge, go back to home, escaping from all the miseries. We don't have to come back again. This is Tarati Ajnana Dhuratyayam Tamaha. Just by remembering the Lord, we can cross this material signs very easily. So remembering the Lord is essential at all the times. This is the only way. There is no other way. Other ways like if I use kind of, I will write something in a paper, and then so that I will look at once when my time is finished in the forest, then I will look at the map and then I will go. He may write in the paper. One may person write in the wood. So one person may write in the some kind of metal, but those would not help him because it is material thing. If he is going through somewhere other, the paper may be torn out and wood may be just burnt out and the metal may be very heavy and he may throw it out knowingly or unknowingly. If he is remembering that path, that bhakti, that is called devotional service, then he does not have to worry about anything at all. This is called smriti. The Lord gives that smriti. Whoever is engaged in the devotional service, he will have got a smriti to remember the Lord and how to go out of this universe, material, how to go out of material world and enter into the spiritual world. The Lord arranges such kind of facility. It is only the devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord, nothing else. Okay, likewise, here Hastinapura women, they are glorifying Krishna when Krishna is coming from Hastinapura to Dwaraka. Okay, there is again further more descriptions about the Lord, but here Maitreya Muni is speaking about the living entities. They are existing in the subtle bodies, in the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And then once this time of this universe is completed, and then this universe is annihilated, again this living entities go into the body of Karnodaka Sai Vishnu for the higher level. So this and then they go back to the Karnodaka Sai Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Again in due course of time they will come out from the Karnodaka Sai Vishnu in terms of that golden eggshells, and then coming uh, in contact with the Mahatattva, they will be another universe will be formed. Okay, that process keep going on. Annihilation, and district annihilation, again recreation. This happens to the three Purushas: Karnadak Sai Vishnu, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, Kshirodak Sai Vishnu. Vishnu Sutri Nirupani. Purushakyam Anyat Purushakyani Anyata Viduhu. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Maitreya Muni is speaking about the living entities. Again, these living entities having got mind, intelligence, and ego, and the contaminated consciousness. This is the subtle body. It is called kosham. And this kosham, this subtle body is also, once it is purified, this will be digested. Just like when we eat the food, it will be digested by the Jataragni. Likewise, through the devotional service, the subtle body also will be, subtle body of the material nature will be digested. Once it is purified, and he will completely get the spiritual body, where he belongs to the spiritual world. He will go back. He is one of the citizens of the spiritual world. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is also given as an analogy like a arani. Arani is the tool, wooden tool, where the Brahmanas use that tool to lit the fire for to perform the sacrifices, fire sacrifices. They don't use matchboxes or something external fire. They use the wooden tool. And wooden tool, that is one is kind of a circular one, and within that one, another wooden tool. It is, I think, more than one part. So there are, so they will they will spin that wood within another wood, so that it will generate the fire, and they use that fire for the sacrifices. And giving that analogy, when it is rubbed very fast and the fire comes out, it will burn even the arani itself completely. Similarly, we use our material body to perform devotional service. When we, this is tivrena bhakti yogena, when we perform devotional service very uh, intensely, what it will do, it will burn material body and also the subtle body, and we will be completely purified into spiritual body. We get our body. This is Surupena Mayopetam Pasyan Swarajyam Ruchyati. Once we get the spiritual body, we will go back to the Lord. We don't come back to this material world. The spiritual body is full of knowledge, Sat Chit Ananda. It is eternal and full of knowledge and full of happiness. Once it is situated and regained its original form, it does not come to this material world again, knowing that it is a misery, and go back to the Lord. Okay, that is the devotional process is so powerful. It will purify the material existence. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So antaha siriripte bhut sukshmaha kalatmikam shakti mudirayanaha. Vuvastasmin sarale padesve yatha nalo dari niruddha viryaha. Okay. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today letter to Karandara, January 1st, 1971, Surat. It is a small letter. Can I request any unallocated devotees to read this letter, please? Sakshi Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dated 1st January 1971, location is Surat, letter to Karandara, and thus feeling enlivened. Just see that the standard of purity is strictly maintained and the standard of enthusiasm for spreading Lord Chaitanya's movement is increased. Please offer my blessings to all the nice devotees of Los Angeles Temple. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever wisher A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. I think this is think with size money in $10,000 denominations, 4 bills you will have to come to India. Sham Sundara will write to you.
Thank you, Mataji. It's a very small letter. We shall also read the next letter. This letter to Sudam. I think this is a little bit big. Yeah, we shall cover this one as well, Mataji. Letter Sudama, January 1st, 1971.
My dear Sudama, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated December 22nd, 1970, and I'm so sorry to learn that although you are so sober, you have been disturbed by your married life. Married life does not mean that there will be no disagreement between husband and wife. There is a custom from time immemorial. According to Vedic system, disagreement or quarrel between husband and wife should never be taken very seriously. The Vedic system therefore gives a concession for the wife to separate from her husband for some time and go to her father's house. So Chintamani may come to me for some time, but you cannot deviate from your responsibility in Japan. If so desired, Kartikeya Maharaj and Bruce can go immediately to help you. So arrange for their passage and I shall send them back. I think Bruce has got his return ticket. Do not be diminished in your enthusiasm. You should always think of yourself that you are sold to Krishna as slave, and that is the only way to get relief of the slavery of Maya. I hope you will understand me rightly and do the needful. May Krishna help you always. Your ever wisher, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. At present, I am in Surat on 4th of Jan 71. I'm going to Bombay. From there, I will go to Calcutta on the 5th evening by plane. On the 7th, there is an important meeting in Calcutta. Our present Calcutta address is 11B Jatindra Mohan Avenue, Goinda, Calcutta. Please immediately let me know by wire to Calcutta address whether Krishna Volume 2 has been shipped already or not. I'm very anxious about it. If you so desire, the whole Sankirtan party in India may go to Japan. As you say, there is a good prospect.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can you take
Srila
your
Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai? Can you take your points, Mataji, from the two letters?
So basically, this is like he is requesting the, I think it is letter to Karandara Prabhuji saying that please continue with your this is the first one. Sorry, this is the letter to Karandarav saying, first of all, blessing him and the other devotees at the Los Angeles temple, and Srila Prabhupada says that he is very happy to see that the pure standard of purity is strictly maintained and the standard of enthusiasm for spreading Lord Chaitanya's movement is increased. So he feels he is very happy and he is greeting, wishing them wishing them all and hoping that he will meet in good health. And he also talks about money. So he says that the 10,000 denomination 4 bills, I think with size money, Karandara can come to India and Shyam Sundar will write to you. So this is a short letter from Srila Prabhupada to Karandara. The next letter which we read was from Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai to Sudama. It is understood from the letter that Srila Prabhupada is acknowledging the receipt of his letter dated 22nd of December 1970, and Srila Prabhupada is saying that he is sorry to learn that his disciple Sudama is disturbed by his married life, and Srila Prabhupada is trying to advise him that in married life there is always going to be a disagreement between husband and wife. It is a custom as such, and according to the Vedic system, quarrels between husband and wife should not be taken very seriously. The Vedic system also gives concession to the wife to separate from the husband for some time, and if she would like to go to her father's house. So Chintamani may come to me for some time, but he requests Sudama to not deviate from his responsibility in Japan. And if he desires, Kartik Maharaj and Bruce can go immediately to Japan to help Sudama. And if Sudama can arrange for their passage, and Srila Prabhupada says that he thinks Bruce Prabhuji has got a return ticket. He further advises him and encourages him to remain in Krishna consciousness, to not be diminished in his enthusiasm, and he also says that if this body is whole, or is, his body is sold to Krishna as slave, and that is the only way that we can get relief from Maya. And he hopes that Sudama will understand Srila Prabhupada, what it is, the meaning, what he's trying to say, and he will do the needful, and prays that Krishna will help Sudama always. At present, he further, Srila Prabhupada further says that he is in Surat, and as of the date 4th of January 71, and his plan is to go to Bombay and then further to Calcutta. He also gives his Calcutta address, and tells him that and ask him whether the Krishna volume 2 has been shipped already or not, because he's really anxious about it. So these two letters which we have read, one to Kardana and the other is to Sudama. And he also further desires that the whole Sankirtana movement in India may also go to Japan, as he says that there is a good prospect in Japan. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Very beautifully read and summarized it very nicely. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other comments, dear devotees? We got Meena Mataji joined here, maybe from different temple. Hare Krishna, Meena Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Wanted to show us any temples, Mataji.
No, I'm just in the bus. I'm not in the temple. I'm going Padmanabh temple. So, yeah, I'm in the bus right now because I'm just hearing.
In the Kerala, Mataji.
Yeah. Going from Chennai to there.
Yes, so beautifully. We have been discussing about Padmanabha.
Yeah.
Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu just now. You are there with the Padmanabha.
I will reach in a few hours. Yeah. But in the moment, I'm in the bus. So just listening.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees, from this letter? Wanted to anything comment on this one? I think this particular statement, Prabhupada, here it is writing here. I think only Matajis can explain more reflections on that. So here Prabhupada is mentioning, so something married life does not mean that there will be no disagreement between husband and wife. That is a custom from the time immemorial. That again, it is a one side is Mataji's mind, it is like a with emotionally triggered, and men's are like intelligence triggered, something like the material in the modern science. They are describing how the brain cells got they got formed. Okay, so but however, one should not take anything between husband and wife serious. Sometimes their egos may go further and make all foolish things and ruin their lives. One should not take anything serious at all. They are meant, this marriage is not decided here by the materialistic people. Marriages are made in the heaven, something like there is a word. It is an arrangement so that in due course of time, one may be coming out of that loop of going into the birth, old age, disease, and that death cycle. And then why it is happening to me, even though I am doing right, why I am always going through all the suffering? Why I have to do so much of work? Why only it is me? Why not him? Even though why don't he listen? Why doesn't she listen? So this is why when we come to Krishna, we understand that one. It is not that we are here for husband and wife. We are here for to serve Krishna. Asevayayam prakritir gunanam. Asevayayam prakritir gunanam. We are not meant to serve the materialistic nature. We are meant to serve Krishna. Okay, Jnana Vairagya. ज्ञानेन वैराग्य विजृंभितेन योगेन मयि अर्पितया च भक्त्या मां प्रत्यगात्मानं यहावरुन्धे. Then automatically, with the knowledge and detachment, ज्ञानेन वैराग्य विजृंभितेन योगेन मयि अर्पितया च भक्त्या. So this small fightings gradually on one particular time, either one may be attracted towards the bodies each other, or one may be disgusted with the bodies each other. Okay, so here that vairagya needs to come. The knowledge and detachment they will make, and then instead of the bodily platform on that transcendental platform, both can be living happily while serving to Krishna. So that's why Vedic system therefore gives a concession for the wife to separate from her husband for some time and go to her father's house. Okay, so that is concession. Prabhupada is mentioning concession. And a little bit otherwise always fighting, one may be they need some break as well, okay, for a change, so that they will feel again the love will be provoked later on during the separation time. So but here you cannot deviate from your responsibility in Japan, so that so many things happen between in the home that should not disturb our day-to-day activities. One should not take serious. You have done to me like this, so from today I don't do this activity. Such kind of things never should never appear in our lives. One must carry on duty irrespective of one like it or one don't like it. Okay, so duty, it is the yajna. It is only for the sake of pleasure of Krishna. That is the duty bound. We are not here because of I like it or I don't like it. Okay, so that is what Prabhupada is mentioning. It is my reflection. Thank you, Mataji. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Bhagavad Gita session at 7 p.m. That is our upcoming event. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall move to next topic, Shri Brahma Samhita. Okay, thank you so much. So moving to Shri Brahma Samhita. So in the Brahma Samhita, it is specifically about Krishna and the process of creation and how Krishna enjoys here in the Goloka Vrindavana, and how the creation and his further expansions, they will be like the three Vishnus, and how the Vishnu creates again three Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, how, and after that so many universes gets created. So these are the processes. So here in the last session, we have been discussing Mahavishnu. He creates Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. From his left limb, he creates Vishnu. Right limb, Lord Brahma. He is called Hiranyagarbha. And from his eyebrows, he creates Shambhu. From his eyebrows, he creates a Shambhu. Okay, Shambhu born of the space between the two eyebrows of Mahavishnu. Okay, so this one we have been discussing here in the previous shloka. This is the 115th one. Vamangad Ashrid Vishnum Dakshinangad Prajapatim Jyotirlinga Mayam Shambhum Kotya Desha Davashrijat. The same Mahavishnu created Vishnu from his left limb, Brahma, the first progenitor of beings, from his right limb and the space between his two eyebrows, Shambhu, the divine masculine, manifested halo. So in the purport, in the last session, what we discussed, this Brahma and Vishnu or Maheshwara here in this picture, they are not existing in any universe. They are created by Mahavishnu outside of all other universes. Brahma is called Hiranyagarbha. This Hiranyagarbha Brahma, he injects his potency into all other Brahmas in all other universes. And similarly, this Vishnu also. Similarly, Shambhu also. These are the three prototypes created by Mahavishnu. They are prototypes. That one we have discussed. Okay, so here, Hiranyagarbha Brahma, seminal principle, the portion of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the progenitor, prime progenitor, who is different from the four-faced Brahma. He is not Chaturbhuka Brahma. He is Hiranyagarbha Brahma. This Hiranyagarbha Brahma is the principle of seminal creating energy of every Brahma belonging to each of the infinity universes. He is the Hiranyagarbha Brahma. And similarly, the divine masculine manifested halo Shambhu is the plenary manifestation of his prototype Shambhu, the same as the primary divine masculine generative symbol Shambhu, whose nature has already been described. He gives his potency to the all other Shambhus in all other universes. But each universe, one universe may be having Chaturmukha Brahma, in one universe, Lord Shiva may be appearing beginning or maybe later on. One may be appearing beginning. So the changes would happen from universe to universe. Okay, so here this is Brahma, Vishnu, and here it is also said that and then Vishnu is the integral subjective portion of Mahavishnu. That is his personal expansion. So hence he is the great lord of all other lords. And whereas Brahma and Shambhu, the Brahma and Shambhu are the dislocated portions of the Mahavishnu. Hence they are gods with the delegated functions. And his own potency being on the left side of Godhead, Vishnu appears on the left limb of Mahavishnu from the unalloyed essence of spiritual potency. Vishnu is who is God. Vishnu, who is Godhead himself, is the inner guiding oversoul of every individual soul. He is the personality of Godhead described in the Vedas as being of the measure of thumb. He is the nourisher. Karmis worship him as Narayan. And the Lord of sacrifices. Here, and the yogis desire to merge their identities in him as the Paramatma. So this one we have discussed in the last session. Okay, so here in this picture, so separate Brahma, separate Vishnu is not kept here for the sake of easily maintaining this picture diagram. Otherwise, it will be more congested. Okay, so that is described here later on. We shall move on. Can I request our devotees kindly take a turn to recite this particular shloka? First, you follow behind wherever it is possible. Kindly unmute and follow line by line. And then you take a turn to recite. Vamangad Ashriyat Vishnu
Vamangat Astasat Vishnum
Dakshinangad Prajapatim
Dakshinangat Prajapatim
Jyotirlingamayam Shambhum
ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुम्
कूर्चदेशादवसृजत्
कूर्चदेशादवसृजत्
once again वामाङ्गाद् असृजत् विष्णुं
वामाङ्गात् असृजत् विष्णुं
दक्षिणाङ्गात् प्रजापतिं
दक्षिणाङ्गात् प्रजापतिम्
ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुं
ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुम्
कूर्चदेशादवसृजत्
कूर्चदेशात् अवासृजत्
once again वामाङ्गाद् असृजत् विष्णुं
वामाङ्गात् असृजत् विष्णुं
दक्षिणाङ्गात् प्रजापतिं
दक्षिणाङ्गात् प्रजापतिम्
ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुं
ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुम्
कूर्चदेशादवसृजत्
कूर्चदेशात् अवासृजत्
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Can I request the devotees take a turn and recite one by one, please?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. वामाङ्गात् असृजत् विष्णुं दक्षिणाङ्गात् प्रजापतिं ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुं कूर्चदेशात् अवासृजत्. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, can I request next Usha Mataji to go? Usha Mataji.
वां रामनगद अस्त्रिचाद् विष्णुः दक्षिणाय प्रजापतिं ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुं कूर्चदेशात् अवसृजत् प्रभुः प्रभु.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice to recite it. You want to go once again, Mataji?
वामगदाद् असृजाद् विष्णुः दक्षिणाङ्गत प्रजापतिं ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुं कूर्चदेशात् अवसृजत्.
Very nice. Beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Meena Mataji, are you available to recite Mataji?
Yeah, but I don't know whether you can hear me on the bus.
Yes, Mataji, we can hear.
Vaman Gad Asaj Vishnu Dakshinangat Prajapatim Jyotilinga Mayam Sambhum Krucha Desat Avasrajat.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Sakshi Mataji, would you like to go?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. वामाङ्गादसृजात् विष्णुं दक्षिणाङ्गात् प्रजापतिं ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुं कूर्चदेशादवसृजत्. Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Samhita Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण वामाङ्गात् असृजात् विष्णुं दक्षिणाङ्गात् प्रजापतिं ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं शम्भुं कूर्चदेशात् अवासृजात्. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. वामाङ्गात् अर्षिजात् विष्णुं दक्षिणागत् प्रजापतिं ज्योतिर्लिङ्गमयं सिंहं कुर्शदेशात् अवर्षजित्.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so this is about the Mahavishnu and the creations. So he created Vishnu, Brahma, and Shambhu. Three personalities. Those three personalities outside of all other universes. Okay, we shall move to the next shloka and how further this creation is taking place. And here, one of these Mahavishnu, how he expands as the that Vishnu, when Mahavishnu creates Vishnu from his left limb, that Vishnu, he enters into each and every universe as Garbhodaka Vishnu. That is his personal expansions. There is no difference between his personal expansions and himself. Again, Vishwam Purusha Rupena Pari Sujati Tanniyuktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Purusham Vishwarupena Paripati Trishakti Druk. And he keeps the Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma in his control. Tadbhasham Tada Vishwam Purusha Rupena Paripati Vishwadruk. Paripati Vishwadruk. So he maintains this universe in the form of Purusha. So we also recite there is a Purusha Suktam as well to glorify the Lord. Okay, so that is Purusha. Now coming further, what happens about the it is describing about the Lord Shambhu here, function of Shambhu. So here, Ahamkaratmakam Vishwam Tasmad Yetad Vyajayata. Ahankaratmakam Vishwam, the mundane egoistic principle. Ahankara, Atmakam, so enshrining Vishwam, this universe. Tasmad Yetad Vyajayata, from that Shambhu, Tasmad Yetad, this universe, Vyajayata has originated. The function of Shambhu in relation to the Jivas is that this universe enshrining the mundane egoistic principle has originated from Shambhu. This is Ahankaratmakam Vishwam Tasmagyetad Vijayata. So here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, and chapter 26, let me just 26 here, I think it is the one. Yes. So here from the mode of ignorance is the Lord Shiva is the deity for the mode of ignorance. Of course, he is free, but he is the deity. Here, all these elements, they create one by one. All the elements, they are getting created one by one. So in that one, from the mind, the mode of goodness and the demigod got manifested. From the mode of intelligence, from the mode of passion, intelligence, and this is called Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Prana Shakti, they got created. And from the mode of ignorance, this is Tashmacha Vikurvana Veeri Choditat Shabdamatram Abhutasman Nabhasrotram to Sabdhagam. This is Tamasatcha Vikurvana, from the egoism in the ignorance. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are in the Sri Brahma Samhita, how they are connected. I'm just linking them. This is Tamasatcha Vikurvanad, from the egoism in ignorance, and undergoing that transformation, Bhagat Virya Choditat, by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Choditaha, in impel, Shabdamatram Abhustasmat, the subtle element sound got manifested. Shabdamatram Abhutasman, from that, and then Nabhasrotram to Sabdhagam, and Yether, and the Srotram, the sense of hearing, and then to Sabdhamatram to Shabdhagam, which catches the sound. So when egoism in ignorance is agitated by the sex energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the subtle element sound is manifested. From the sound come the ethereal sky and the sense of hearing. So here, what is the point? Egoism. What is egoism in ignorance? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, so now coming back to the Sri Brahma Samhita. So here, the function of Shambhu in relation to the Jivas is that this universe enshrining the mundane egoistic principle has originated from Shambhu. Now, in another way, if we think Lord Shiva is the creator of the universe, then there is no misunderstanding. So here, Lord Shambhu is the expansion of Karnodak Sai Vishnu, and from that Shambhu, with his function, so the delegated function of Shambhu is this, is that this universe enshrining the mundane egoistic principle has originated from Shambhu. This is Ahankaratmakam Vishwam Tasmad Yetud Vijayata. Okay, so we shall see what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami and Jiva Goswami described in the purport. This is not Srila Prabhupada's purport, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, Jiva Goswami's purports. Okay, so can I request other devotee to can I request Sanchita Mataji to read the translation and purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. The function of Shambhu in relation to the jivas is that this universe enshrining the mundane egoistic principle has originated from Shambhu. Purport. The basic principle is the Supreme Lord Himself, who is the embodiment of the principle of existence of all entities, devoid of separating egoism. In this mundane world, the appearance of individual entities as separated egoistic symbols is the limited, perverted reflection of the unalloyed spiritual chit potency, and as representing the primal masculine divine generative function Shambhu. It is united to the accommodating principle vis-a-vis the mundane female organ, which is the perverted reflection of the spiritual chit potency Rama Devi. At this function, Shambhu is nothing but the mere material causal principle embodying the extension in the shape of ingredient as matter. Again, when in the course of progressive evolution of mundane creation, each universe is manifested, then in the principle of Shambhu, born of the space between the two eyebrows of Vishnu, there appears the manifestation of the personality of Rudra. Okay. Yet, under all circumstances, Shambhu fully enshrines the mundane egoistic principle. The innumerable jivas as spiritual particles emanating from the oversoul in the form of pencils of rays of effulgence have no relation with the mundane world when they come to know themselves to be the eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. They are then incorporated into the realm of Vaikuntha. But when they desire to lord it over Maya, forgetting their real identity, the egoistic principle Shambhu entering into their entities make them identify themselves as separate enjoyers of mundane entity. Hence, Shambhu is the primary principle of egoistic mundane universe and of the perverted egoism in jivas that identifies itself with their limited material body. Srila Jiva Goswami ki jai. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So again, this particular one, in the previously in the Bhagavatam, where we have discussed, Maitreya Muni is mentioning Sontaha Sriripte Bhuta Sukshmaha Kalatmikam Viktim Sekti Mudirayanaha. Vovastas means Lepadespe Yatanaludharini Ruddhaviryaha. Living entities in their subtle bodies, they exist in the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So here, coming to here, Sri Brahma Samhita, once the living entity comes out into this existence and then taking one form and then carrying out the functions, this is karmic activities according to wherever it was left before, and then it will continue from this new body onwards. So at the time, it identifies itself with the body. So I am a dog, I have to bark, and then it barks. I'm a cat, I have to do mewing, something like that. And then I'm a tiger, I need to roar. I'm again tiger, lion, something like their property. They have to work under according to the material nature. They have taken the shape already. They cannot act, even though their consciousness, they remember about their previous life, but because their body, they have to bark or they have to roar and do something. They are conditioned now. They cannot do anything further until the renouncing of that body. So here, coming to this description of the purport, the basic principle is the Lord, Supreme Lord Himself, who is the embodiment of the principle of existence of all entities devoid of separating egotisms. In this mundane world, the appearance of individual entities as separated egoistic symbols is the limited, perverted reflection of the unalloyed spiritual potency. And as representing the primal masculine divine generative function, Shambhu, it is united to the accommodating principle with mundane female organ, which is perverted reflection of the spiritual potency, Ramadevi. So here, connecting to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that this is the perverted reflection. So, Uddhamolam adashakam ashvaddham prahuravyayam chandam sesya parnani yastam vedas savedhavet. So there Krishna says that this material world, it is called the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Uddhamolam, and all its roots are in the spiritual world. And here in this material world, it is just only spreading its branches, leaves, and leaves are the these Vedic injunctions. And then it will further goes and this keep on growing. Uddhamulam, adashakam, adahashakam. Adahashakam is the branches. Adaha, they are downwards. Uddhamulam, adashakam, ashwaddham prahuravyayam. It is called Ashwaddharuksha. Prahur, avyayam, and it is the eternal tree. Chandams yasya, but this is again coming to this one, this Vedic injunctions. It's the first sloka of 15th chapter. It is described here. Chandams yasya parnani. And Chanda Vedic injunctions are it's the leaves of this tree. Yes, tum ved saveda ved. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Okay, so coming here. So here proper our Acharya Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami and Jiva Goswami are describing the individual entities, they are separated egoistic symbols. They are thinking that identifying themselves, they are the bodies. Actually, they are living entities, spirit sparks. They belong to the spiritual world. They should be doing all those things in the transcendental platform, not on the materialistic platform. Because they wanted to do it here in the material platform, here again, as representing the primal masculine divine generative function of Shambhu, it is united to the accommodating principle, Purusha and Prakriti, the mundane female organ, which is perverted reflection of the spiritual potency. Ramadevi. So Ramadevi is who is in always associating with the Lord, and the shadow energy of Ramadevi is the Maya. So that is, this is perverted reflection of spiritual potency, Ramadevi, that is called mundane female organ. Or Durga Devi or Prakriti. And in order to carry out that one, so Krishna, while glorifying Krishna, Lord Brahma, he speaks a function of Lord Shiva as Kshiram yatadadi vikar vishesha yoga sanjayati nahi tata prutagasti heto. Prutagasti heto. So here he describes Shambhu. This one, Kshiram. What is it? Kshiram. This. Kshiram yatadadi vikar vishesha yoga sanjayate nahi tataha prutagasti heto yeh sembutamapi tata samupaiti karyat govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Just as milk is transformed into curd by the action of acids, but yet the effect curd is neither same as nor different from its cause, viz. Milk. So I adore Primary Lord Govind, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. Work of destruction. And here, yes, Sambhutamapi tata samupaiti karyad. Samupaiti karyad. And he accepts that form, Shambhu form, in order to uh, create this universe or to destroy. But here it is mentioned here. The Lord will be associating with the Prakriti, and then further he creates. He's a masculine symbol and a feminine organ. So this is mundane female organ, which is pervert reflection of Chit potency. So here Shambhu, generative divine primal masculine divine generative function Shambhu is united with the accommodating principle, Purusha and Prakriti. It is Krishna coming in the form of Shambhu, and here Rama Devi in the form of Prakriti here. Okay, so that is Durga Devi and Lord Shiva. And then as this function Shambhu is nothing but the same material causal principle embodying the extension in the shape of ingredient as matter. Okay, so that is the same embodying the extension in the shape of ingredient as matter. Again, matter means this material existence, what we see all the Panchabhutas and everything. And in the due course of the progressive evolution of mundane creation, each universe is manifested. Then in the principle of Shambhu, born of the space between the two eyebrows of Vishnu, there appears the manifestation of the personality of Rudra. So here, if we see in our universe, where our Chaturmukha Brahma is existing, here appearance of Rudra is appearing from the eyebrows of Chaturmukha Brahma. Eyebrows of Chaturmukha Brahma in the beginning of the creation. Okay, so there is again one beautiful picture of it. Let me just show that one. Yeah, I think there is when Brahma is creating, he asked the four Kumaras to go and expand the progeny, but at the time, the four Kumaras, they did not accept the proposal. So at that time, Brahma was a bit angry. At that time, during that angry time, from the eyebrows of Brahma, Rudra got manifested. And then he was crying a lot with lots of sounds. That's why he is called Rudra. And then Brahma asks him that you would go and expand the progeny. And then he gives the Rudra, he gives the 11 names, and also he gives the Rudranis, his companions, female companions. And then the children born out of Rudra and Rudranis. So the Rudra here, there are Ekadash Rudras. There are 11 Rudras. And also out of 11 Rudras, Rudranam Shankara Shasmi. Again, Krishna says that I am the Shankara out of all the Rudras. The first Rudra is the Shankara in this material world. And when Brahma asked that Rudra go and expand the progeny, the children born out of them are fearful forms. They are disturbing the universe. And Brahma asked them just, Rudra, now enough is enough. So you have created enough of your children. Now you go to the tapasya. And then Rudra, he went on and then meditating. and the Vasudeva. Okay, so that is Shambhu. But here, when in the course of progressive evolution of mundane creation, each one's universe is manifested in the principle of Shambhu, born of space between two eyebrows of Vishnu. Here, Rudra, Shambhu is born here from the eyebrows of Mahavishnu here, that is the first Shambhu, and then the same Shambhu with his potency here in our universe, where Chaturmukha Brahma's creation, when Brahma is creating, he appeared from the eyebrows of Lord Brahma in our universe. Okay, so that one, it is described in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad, this third canto. So there, let me just bring that one. In the 10th chapter, divisions of the creation. I think it's the 10th or 11th chapter. It should be that. So here, appearance of the Kumara. So here it describes, I think somewhere he describes that one. Creation of the Kumar. Okay, here it is. So here, although he tried to curb his anger, it came out from his between his eyebrows. A child mixed with blue and red was immediately generated. After his birth, he began to cry, "O destiny maker, teacher of the universe, kindly designate my name and place." So this is because he is crying, Brahma named him as Rudra. So it is described later on. The all-powerful Brahma, who was born from the lotus flower, and pacified the boy with gentle words, accepting his request, and said, "Do not cry, I shall certainly do as you desire." Thereafter Brahma said, "O chief of the demigods, you shall be called by the name Rudra by all people because you have so anxiously cried." Okay, and then Lord Brahma gives further functions to Rudra here. My dear boy, I have already selected the. Okay, I request the devotees to read this one, maybe the few shlokas from text 10 to text 13, please. So 12 to, sorry, 17 or 18, please. From 10 to 18. Can I request any Amrita Sachi Mataji, are you available to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
10 to 18.
Text 10. Thereafter, Brahma said, "O chief of the demigods, you shall be called by the name Rudra by all people, because you have so anxious cried." Text 11. My dear boy, I have already selected the following place for your residence: the heart, the senses, the year of the life, the sky, the air, the fire, the water, the earth, the sun, the moon, and austerity. Text 12. Lord Brahma said, "My dear boy Rudra, you have 11 others named: Manu, Manu, Mahinasha, Mahan, Shiva, Ratvaja, Urareta, Vava, Kala, Vamadeva, and Dritavrata. Text 13. O Rudra, you also have 11 wives called Rudranis, and they are as follow: Dhi, Trit, Rashala, Uma, Niyut, Sarpi, Ila, Ambika, Iravati, Savadha, Diksha. Text 14. My dear boy, you may now accept all the names and place designated by for you and your different wives, and since you are now one of the master of the living entities. You may increase the population on a large scale. Text 15. The most powerful Rudra, whose bodily color was blue mixed with the red, created many offspring exactly resembling him in feature, strength, and furious nature. Text 16. The son and grandson generated by Rudra were unlimited in number, and when they assemble together, they attempt to devour the entire universe. When Brahma and the father of living entities saw this, he became afraid of the situation. Text 17. Brahma told Rudra, O best among the demigods, there is no need for you to generate living entity of this nature. They have begun to devastate everything on all sides with the fiery flames from their eyes, and they have even attacked me. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Till 17 or
One more.
okay, Prabhuji. Text 18. My dear son, you have better situate yourself in penance, which is auspicious for all living entity and which will bring all benediction upon you. By penance only shall you be able to create the universe as it was before.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so this is how Rudra has appeared in this universe. Our universe is maintained by Chaturmukha Brahma and Shiva and Vishnu. Okay, so again here, okay, we shall go back to the Shri Brahma Samhita. So here, this is how the Rudra come. The Shambhu, he entered into this universe. Okay, so Shambhu born of the space between two eyebrows of Vishnu, it is outside of the universe. Here it is describing about the Mahavishnu. And whatever we have read, it is within our universe. From the Bhagavatam, it is within our universe. This Mahavishnu creates from his eyebrows this Shambhu. This is outside of the universe. So there appears the manifestation of the personality of Rudra, yet or under all circumstances, Shambhu fully enshrines the mundane egoistic principle. And then coming further, the innumerable jivas as spiritual particles emanating from the oversoul in the form of pencils of rays of effulgence have no relation with the mundane world, and where they come to know that themselves to be the eternal servants of the Supreme Lord. So now we are in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna described that apareyam itasvanyam vidyame param prakritim jiva bhuta mahabhaho yedam dharite jagat. So this one again, it described here in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that in the 7th shloka, I think. So apareyam इतस्त्वन्यां प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूता महाबाहो येदं धार्यते jagat. Besides this, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material or inferior nature. So these living entities are superior energy. Krishna says energy, superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities. Now, we belong to the spiritual world. We belong to the Lord. But now, we are trying to exploiting the resources of this material nature, which is inferior material nature. It is inferior. So here, when we come to know that we are servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, eternal servants, then they are then incorporated in the realm of Vaikuntha. we restore. This is Swarupena Mayopetam Pasyan Swarajyam Ruchyati. Swarupena. That is our original forms. Every living entity has got a spiritual form. At the moment, we are covered by the subtle body and gross bodies. When we take out those two dresses, we will see the real spiritual form. Then we will go back to the Vaikuntha Loka. So, but that can happen only by the devotional service. Those gross and subtle bodies will be digested. Gross body may be digested within the 100 years of time at max, but subtle body it is very difficult unless we take the devotional service. Jarayati yashu yakosham nigirnam analoyatha. Devanam gunalinghanam anushavika karmanam satvaye vaika pumso vrittibihi swabhavikituya animita bhagavati bhaktihi siddhir gariyasi jarayati yakosham nigirnam analoyatha. So this one also described in the I think where is it? 26th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. There it is 26 here. Jarayati. I think not 26, 25, I think. I think here 25. Jarayati as Kosham. Jarayati asu ya Kosham nigirnam analoyata. Bhakti devotional service dissolves the subtle body of the living entity without separate effort, just as fire in the stomach digests all that we eat. Likewise, devotional service, it will dissolve the subtle body. Then we get our original forms. Then we go back to the Vaikuntha planets. So here, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and here our Goswamis, Jiva Goswami, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, they have scrutinizingly analyzed all the scriptures and they're giving as point of the context of a particular shloka. Okay, so at the moment, living entities coming into this material world, trying to exploit the material nature. This is called sense gratification thing. Otherwise, Lord has no desire to create because here, what is the cause we are coming to this from one country, one home to different? Everyone must have taken birth in some particular home. Why they are situated into different homes and later on different towns, later on different city, later on different country? It is desire. One person desire, another person is trying to fulfill that desire. Because of the desires, the living entities, they have fall from the spiritual world into the material world. Otherwise, there is no need. If I think that I do not have to go out of anywhere. For example, my mother, she was born in the same village, in the same street. She has never moved out of that home or village unnecessarily. She says, I'm happy here. There is no need to go through all the miseries going in different places and circumstances. It's same thing, eating, sleeping, and doing the same thing. If you go to the different country, you do the same thing. That pleasure remains the same. But it is only for the sake of showing off to someone else. I have gone to different country, I have gone to different city, I have studied this. It is only the show off. But as a real identity of, as a spirit soul, it is nothing to do with these things, material nature. Okay, so here, Naitat Batadisha Padam Taveksitam Yanmayanaha Tanuse Bhota Sukshmam Anugrahaya Astu Api Erhimaya Lasatulasya Bhagam Vilakshitaha. Kaddama Prajapati mentions to the Supreme Lord in his prayers that, O mighty Lord, it is not your desire to create this material world. Naitat Batadisha Padam Tavaipsitam. It is not your desire. Okay, that one also comes from Srimad Bhagavatam, I think, 21st chapter of it, 3rd canto. So here he says that one. Let me just bring that one. So Naitat Batadisha Padam Tavechitam Yanmayanaha Tanse Bhota Sukshmam Anugrahaya Astu Api Yerhimaya Lasatulasya Bhagavan Vilakshitaha. My dear Lord, although it is not your desire, you manifest this creation of the gross and subtle elements just for our sensual satisfaction. Let your causeless mercy be upon us, for you have appeared before us in your eternal form, adorned with a splendid wreath of tulasi leaves. So here what it means, it is not the desire of the Lord to create this world, but because it is for the sake of living entity. just for our sensual satisfaction. Kadama Prajapati says. That is the diseased condition of the living entity. Narada Muni says, Amayo Yasha Bhutanam Jaita Yena Surata Tadevihi Amayam Dravyam Na Punati Chikichitam. So somewhere or other we have got this material body. When you surrender all your activities and your mind, your words, everything to the Lord, then whatever you think is the diseased condition, the existence of the material body, it will turn into the nectarian part. It will become Voshadi or it will become medicine. Na punati chikichitam, it will cure the disease. So the body is meant for rendering devotional service to the Lord. It will turn into nectarian part at that time. And then go back to Godhead at the end of the material body. So, but when they decide to lord it over Maya, forgetting their real identity, the egoistic principles, Shambhu entering into their entities, make them identify themselves as separated enjoyers of the mundane entities. So this is otherwise we cannot enjoy. So here Lord Shiva entering into their entities, make them identify themselves. Even same thing we would also see with the Maya. Maya is the again it is a perverted reflection of Gokuleshwari. She also makes that the living entity is that you are the material body. It is the Maya. So Lord Shambhu and Prakriti, so they are in charge of this material world. And they're making the living entities as themselves, identify themselves as separated enjoyers of the mundane entities. That's why many people who have got the desires, they will go and worship Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. That way we understand, still he is not purified of his desires. If one does not have any desires, then he will go to the Vishnu. Akama sarvakamova mokshakama udharadehi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. One has got any desires or no desires or moksha desire, then here Sukadeva Goswami stresses one must always worship only the Vishnu or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And here Shambhu is the primary principle of the egoistic mundane. If one wanted to go, so here, if one wanted to stay back in this universe, he will be worshipping Shambhu and Parvati all the time. Okay, that is another thing. But if again he has to go through the miseries of this material world, and hence Shambhu is the primary principle of the egoistic mundane universe and of the perverted egoism in jivas, and identifies itself with their limited material bodies. With their limited material bodies. That is the function of Shambhu and Maya. They are the father and mother of this universe, because living entities, they have got desires to fulfill. And because of that, here Lord Shiva and Lord Mother Parvati, they are giving that opportunity for the living entities, and they feel them to experience these things. It is not the desire of them to condition the children, because children wanted to desire it. That's why they are accommodating that nature, giving the forgetfulness of their real identity, so that they understand that I am the body, I wanted to enjoy. So they will have to go through the miseries. Okay, so likewise here, this is called ahankaratmakam vishwam tasmad yetad vijayata. Okay, I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything, or you have, which is taking anything which is taking your mind, kindly ask, kindly share, and kindly highlight. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you please recap one time, like from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, like he created like all those Shambhu and also another Vishnu and also Rama Devi and all. Can you please kindly recap, Prabhu, just as a summary, please?
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you.
So here, first is the Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu, he is the expansion of Sankarshan. So Sankarshana is here. He is called Mahasankarshana. This is Mahasankarshana. Mahasankarshana is the expansion of Lord Narayana. Okay, Narayana's expansion is Sankarshana. Sankarshana is one of the quadruple, and from him, this Karnodakasai Vishnu gets expanded. And this is Karnodakasai Vishnu is also called Mahavishnu. And here, for the sake of creation, from his right limb, Brahma got created, and from his left limb, another Vishnu got created. From his eyebrows, Shambhu are created. These three personalities outside of all other universes. And from his bodily pores, there are so many innumerable, these golden egg cells are forming, coming out of his body from the sweating holes. And these golden egg cells, they come in contact with the Mahat Tattva, and then they will be enveloped with the material ingredients, and then they will be forming like a shells, like with the 7 layers. And these golden eggs are within the universe now, and which is like a very strongly wrapped up by the 7 layers, Saptavadrihi. And later on, now here, Mahavishnu created 3 personalities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shambhu. These 3 are prototypes. They will be injecting their potencies to each and every universe. In our one universe, this Brahma injects, here outside Brahma is called Hiranyagarbha Brahma. He gives his potency to the Brahma who is going to come out from the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu's navel. He is Chaturmukha Brahma in our universe. Another universe may be Ashtamukhi Brahma, another may be Ashtadashamukha Brahma, so something like that. Different Brahmas, different Mukhas, different potencies. So that, and for all of them, Hiranyagarbha Brahma is the prime progenitor. And likewise, Shambhu also appears in each universe, either through the eyebrows of Brahma, or sometimes he appears like a light. If we see Shiva Purana, the Lord Shiva appears in a different form. And then Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So here this Vishnu enters into this every universe as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, where he lies in the Garbhodaka ocean, from whose navel this lotus flower comes, where Chaturmukha Brahma or different Brahma comes. And this format of either Brahma comes first or Lord Shiva comes first, it depends within within universe or particular to universe. But here, main thing is the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu enters first. Otherwise, that one we will see in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he will stay for the 1000 Chaturyuganam Sahasramapsu. Sopan Swadhiya Udiritiya Sosikya Kalakya Sadhya Karmatantro Lokan Apitan Dadrushe Swadehe. And from him, in due course of time, this lotus flower sprouts from his navel. And then Brahma comes out, and then he creates further. Here, Brahma is here again. Lord Shiva appears from the eyebrows of Chaturmukha Brahma in our universe, and Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu further expands as Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. This Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, this Brahma, and the Shiva in our universe, they are existing. Outside also, they are all existing here. These are 3 prototypes, but in each and every universe, for the creation, maintenance, and destruction, Brahma and Vishnu, Maheshwara, they exist. And again, each universe has got a different kinds of pastimes. So this is a high-level summary, Mataji, if you want.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, it's very clear. So can you scroll to the top of the page, Prabhu? So Sankarshana Vishnu, from Sankarshana Vishnu, Mahavishnu came. From Mahavishnu, the prototype came like Karanoda, how to pronounce this, Prabhu?
Karunadaka Sai Vishnu.
Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. And Karanodaka Sai Vishnu is independent of any universe or planet, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Then Mahavishnu and Shambhu, yeah. So Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is in our Earth planet.
Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, it is not a planet. So he enters into this universe, and then from his body, the water comes. That water is Garbhodaka. Because he lies, he is also called Narayana with the name. And
Okay.
from his body is completely transcendental. And from his navel, this lotus flower comes. That lotus flower, the stem of the lotus flower, it is all our 14 planetary systems. And Brahma is situated on top of the topmost planet on the lotus flower. And here, this is Bhuloka, Earth comes as one of the planetary system.
Okay, got it, Prabhu. Yeah, seventh planet. Okay.
This is the Earth.
Yeah.
And here, generally, Earth means it is not only one thing, but Bhumandala. Bhumandala is comprises of. So, if you look in the further in the right, this is called Bhumandala. Bhumandala is with 7 islands and 7 oceans. This entirely is called Bhumandala. And then out of middle one, what we see Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is again divided into the 9 Varshas. Ilavrta Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, Bharata Varsha, like that. In the middle one is called Ilavrta Varsha, where this Mount Meru is existing, and also Lord Shiva also living within the Ilavrta Varsha, where this Mount Meru is there. And top of this Mount Meru, we see the spiritual water or Ganga river. It flows here on top of this one and goes into the 4 directions. One path comes into the, for example, in India as Ganga. There are 3 other paths are also there. Okay, this is entirely is called Bhumandala.
Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. Any other questions, dear devotees? Samhita Mataji, get to.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You mean in terms of reflection?
Yes, Mataji, wanted to share anything, Mataji?
You've explained this very nicely, Prabhu. So just trying to recollect and consolidate and put it together. The one part I liked is the end, towards the end of this purport. Of course, we understand how Shambhu was created, what was his purpose, and that he wanted some name and place, which you shared with the reference to the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then towards the end, and of course, he was created to satisfy, because we humans, they wanted to have desire separate from the Lord. So Ramadevi and Shambhu, they helped to make this progeny to enjoy and have that. But forget our association, our like deep connection with Krishna, we forget that. But towards the end, they say like this jivas, when they desire to lord over Maya, forgetting their real identity. Where was it? It said somewhere, eternal supreme Lord, have no relation. So maybe I'll read and then maybe we'll get it. The innumerable jivas as spiritual particles emanating from the oversoul in the form of pencil of rays of effulgence have no relation with the mundane world. When they come to know themselves to be the eternal servant of the Lord. So all this is an illusion. It's like, we are trapped, as you mentioned, like this Mahatattva, it's shelled so much like a big cage where nobody can escape, like this Maya and all. It's like all that is happening around. But when one is able to overcome that and then come to know themselves that we are the eternal servants of the Lord. In the letter also which we read today, so it says like how Srila Prabhupada was mentioning that yeah, you have material problems, marriage and everything, but don't forget your like spiritual duties, which is more important. And if nothing works, then think that we are sold to Krishna, that we are the slaves of Krishna. So yeah, so always think yourself that you are sold to Krishna as slaves, and only because Maya is something very with glitters and gizmos, and it is very attractive. But when we in a material body, if we try to imagine something as slave, then we try to relate to something like somebody is fallen and they're bound and they are like compelled to do the work, like slave trades and all. We know from this, like whatever we have read in history, whatever we are taught. But here it's such a profound statement, very deep, that his Prabhupada is saying that only if we think as a slave of Krishna, then only we can get relief from the slavery of Maya. So that is very profound and very deep. And just how Prabhupada, like being he's being so compassionate in this letter. Like he's asking Chintamani that he, like a father, he can come and stay with me, like as like in India they have that opportunity to go to their parents' house and stay like when they want, the wife wants. Similarly, but that's for the wife. But for the Prabhu, he is giving this knowledge that whether you like it or not, like slave, as slaves, you don't have much privileges. Like you are bound to do whatever. So whatever Krishna is saying, whatever the acharyas are saying, just do it. Don't put your mind, because the mind is so much dipped in Maya. And then when we do that, we understand that our eternal position is as a servant of the Supreme Lord. Then only we can get out of this, and then they are then incorporated in the realm of Vaikuntha. And no matter how much desire, so but when they desire to Lord, but no matter, and then no matter how, then what will happen? Maya will help. So first Maya plays the trick as Mahamaya, and then when that person understands their true constitutional position, then Maya understands, okay, now he has managed to escape this maze or this trap. Then Maya will help as Yoga Maya and connect to Krishna, and they will come out of the person who has forgotten the real identity, and they're loaded by Maya. So this same Maya will help when they try their best to understand the Lord. Then only they can come out, and not as one with Krishna, try to be servants of Krishna and not as separate enjoyers. The moment we try to operate separately from Krishna, then Shambhu and Rama Devi, they will just let us enjoy and then forget Krishna completely. So that part stood out for me. So yeah, and hence the last line says, hence Shambhu is the primary principle of the egoistic mundane universe. It's what I want to do, I want to enjoy and all that. So he's a primary principle, and he will also Lord is very merciful, so he will also let Shambhu carry on with his principal designated functions, and allow the jivatmas to carry on, and of the perverted egoism in jivatmas identify itself with their limited material body. So that's what the main message is. With a limited material body, until we surrender and accept the Lord as a master, we are tricked by Maya. So yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice reflections and sharing those points. Okay. Any other comments, dear devotees? You wanted to add any other reflection? Sakshi Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Well, today's class was very, very informative. This is the first time, meaning I learned about the creation of Shambhu, about the creation of the uh, the creation of the Karunatayam Vishnu. So it's all part of learning. And as Sanchita, yes, Karana the Karuna Dakshayai Vishnu, Shambhu, and so it was uh, part of my learning. And from Karuna Daksha Vishnu, creation of the Garbhodaya Vishnu, from the pores of his sweat pores, uh, creation of the Mahatattva, and the Garbhodaya Vishnu. So learning each part uh, uh, as such. So thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. This is very deep actually, and it will take more time for, at least for my fallen soul, to understand and realize the um, creation and the meaning and the purpose of each and every living entity. So thank you once again for this class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Okay, nice reflections. But here, when we keep hearing this, then we will grasp little bit will be digested. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I have question. Like, as you mentioned that we souls, we were with Lord in Vaikuntha Loka or whatever planet up there. So my question is, does Maya exist there in these higher planets? Why we had this desire to get separated from Lord and enjoy ourselves? How this desire came uh, into us, and after coming to this planet, Lord made arrangement or he sent us to this planet. Why some of us born as a human being and some other in the animal kingdom or other species?
Okay, it is very good question, Mataji. Would you like to read this one, Mataji?
My dear Lord, although it's not your desire, you manifest this creation of gross and subtle elements just for our sensual satisfaction. Let your causeless mercy be upon us, for you have appeared before us in your eternal form, adorned with a splendid wreath of tulsi leaves. It is clearly stated here that the material world is not created by the personal will of the Supreme Lord. It is created by his external energy because the living entities wanted to enjoy it. This material world is not created for those who do not want to enjoy sense gratification, who constantly remain in transcendental loving service, and who are eternally Krishna conscious. For them, the spiritual world is eternally existing and they enjoy there. As we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this material world is useless because this material world is full of danger at every step. It's not meant for the devotees, but for living entities who want to lord it over the material energy at their own risk. Krishna is so kind that he allows the sense enjoying living entities in a separate world created by him to enjoy as they like. Yet at the same time, he appears in his personal form. The Lord unwillingly creates this material world, but he descends in his personal form or send one of his reliable son or a servant or a reliable author like Vyasadev to give instruction. He himself also instructs in his speeches of Bhagavad Gita. The propaganda work goes on side by side with the creation to convince the misguided living entities who are rotting in this material world to come back to him and surrender unto him. Therefore, the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita is give up all your manufactured engagements in the material world and just surrender unto me. I shall protect you from all sinful reaction. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Now, can you please explain to us, Mataji?
Yeah, so I understand from this purport that this material world is unwillingly created by Lord. Lord didn't want us to come here actually, and but because of our wish, Lord had to made this separate planet. And second thing, in this purpose is mentioned that he sent his own personal servant or reliable saints and other like Vyasadev came to give us instruction how to go back to the to and join him. He says the living entities on the in this planet are misguided and they are suffering. So he has given the way, and there is a protocol to follow and go back to Godhead as well. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord is saying that give up everything and come back to me. I'll protect you all the time. So yeah, Hare Krishna. That's what I understand. Yeah, I understand this is giving answer to my question.
Thank you, Mataji. So, when the living entities, for example, in this material world, also, we would like to imitate. If some person is happy, I also wanted to be like that. Looking at that, at the other people, I wanted to do the same thing. When Krishna is enjoying, he is a supreme enjoyer. Bhoktaram Ijjitapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the supreme lord of everyone. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Looking at Krishna, oh, why Krishna only is enjoying? Why can't I? Then immediately desire is sprouting. And also he does desires again by the will of the Lord. In the Vaikuntha Loka, when Jaya and Vijaya, they are all the associates of the Lord. How come the forgetfulness comes that they are the servants of the Lord? So, kadati kutyamam yadho bohokratam adikramam. And somewhere there some desires sprout that the Lord says that for the moment they have made kind of offenses to the four Kumaras, but it is not actual offense. They were carrying out their duty. But some desires are going in the heart of all the living entities. That desires which are very deep rooted, that needs to be purified. That I am the servant of the Lord. My duty is always chant Hare Krishna, render service according to the wish of the Lord. When we just forget that, kadati krutyamam yadho, when we forget, bhavakratam atikramam, we make mistakes. Okay, and then Lord orchestrates the further pastimes. Okay, but so, and then in such a way, he facilitates the material world so that living entities come here and enjoy as they like.
Yeah, then, but it becomes so hard to go back, isn't it? It's not easy.
That's why remembering the Lord, he arranges in the Bhagavatam, and I think the first canto, chapter 10, the Hastinav Kaurvendra Purstrinam Saraswati Manoharaha. There we have read one particular shloka, and where Lord arranges devotional service to the living entities. They will take that devotional path, go back to the Vaikuntha Lokas again. Only the path is open. Yanti Anjasa Achyuta Padam, Achyuta Priya Bandhavaha. For the devotees' sake, these Vaikuntha planets are always open. And to go there, here we take the opportunity somewhere or other, come in contact with the devotees and know the philosophy and path, how to go back to Vaikuntha Loka. Here again, Prabhupada is mentioning, the Lord sends one of his reliable sons or servants, reliable author like Vyasadeva, to give instructions, and then giving all the Vedic injunctions, devotional service path. Living it is their desire. So in our childhood, we know if we read Bhagavatam, then we will lose the interest in the enjoying in this material world. So many people, they will delay studying Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam until their old ages. But that is the initial plan. But when they become old, they completely forget about it. Okay, so that's why Krishna always says, Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmari ijja Mayarpita manobuddhir mam ye vaishasi asamsayaha. All the time you remember. Tasma sarveshu kalesu. Then we know the path to go back to Godhead. If we forget about that one, forgetfulness. Then put up into this bhavambuti vatsa padam, param padam, padam padam yad vipadam natesham. Every moment there is a danger in this world. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. But it is not for the intelligent people.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. And I understand you said we have to purify our deep rooted desire which is inside. So by purification only we can leave this planet.
Very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, any other questions? Rajalakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry.
Any questions? Sorry, one.
No, Prabhu. It is quite informative, and also it is quite exhaustive subject. I think we need to slowly just get our head around this to understand more. As you say, okay, slowly, just while we are just hearing and also understanding it, slowly we will just catch hold of the subject. It is quite good, yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this philosophy and all these things can be understood very easily by rendering devotional service, following the regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By that, what we exhibit, we completely convict that I'm servant of the Lord. If I'm not doing the 16 rounds and following the regulative principles, then what happens? I am not in full conviction of the Krishna's statements. Tasma sarveshu college. Why even only 16 rounds? Why not 24 hours a day? Tasma sarveshu college means all the times and circumstances. But why
Is
only?
Is there any significance for doing only 16, Prabhu?
It is Guru Ajna.
Okay.
That is Guru Srila Prabhupada actually 64 rounds. And Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami asks his devotees, his disciples, to do 64 rounds of chanting.
Oh, okay.
But whenever the Prabhupada was establishing Krishna consciousness in the Western world, they said it is not at all possible for us. And then Prabhupada says 32 rounds. They said, again, they moved their heads, it is not possible. And Prabhupada says 16 rounds, it cannot be reduced further. Okay, and then that is follows regulative principles, 16 rounds, and it is by the strength of spiritual master.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Yeah. Because I'm just trying to understand, okay, if there is any, okay, by chanting 16 times, any specific significance behind it, okay, why exactly that number? Okay, so yeah. So Prabhupada, for our convenience, only moved from 64 to 16. Okay.
16, yes.
Okay, that's really good, yeah.
Understanding the troubles and difficulties of these people in this age of Kali. So Prabhupada is compassionately given that number.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. So when we do 16 rounds japa, then we understand little bit, able to understand, entering into the philosophy of it. Otherwise, we are not yet completely convicted of the philosophy and Krishna's position, our position.
Yeah. Right, Prabhu. Yeah.
So when that starts, then we move our mind within Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it will be just we cannot enter in. Sevonmukhe jihvadau swayameva spurtyadaha. When we engaging our senses in the service of the Lord, then Lord will reveal himself to that devotee. Swayameva spurtyadaha. He reveals in the heart of a devotee. Atah Sri Krishnamadi na bhavedgrahimindriyaihi. One cannot use his intelligence or something, mind, to speculate or to think logically how Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. It is not possible. Atah Sri Krishnamadi na bhavedgrahimindriyaihi. Na bhavet. You cannot understand Krishna with our limited senses. It is possible only sevonmukehi jihvado. Starting from the tongue, engage in the service of the Lord. Sevonmukehi jihvado swaymev spurtyadaha. Then Lord reveals himself to that devotee in his heart. Tene Brahma Hrudaya Adikavaye. So this one, Janmadhyasya Yetonvayat Itarashadhe Svabhignyaswarat. Tene Brahma Hrudaya Adikavaye. Tene Brahma. He gives that knowledge in the heart of Brahma. Likewise, he reveals himself in the heart of a devotee. But we need to stick to the following regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds. When we chant 4 rounds, it may understand, but not yet serious. And 8 rounds, little bit for progress, not complete yet. But we can't go into the deep into the pastimes of the Lord. When we are doing 16 rounds consistently for some time, then we will be able to understand some part of it. And then by service, with detaching from the material people and material desires, then this is Yanna Vrajintagvido Racharanuvada Shrinvanti Enivashiyaha Kukata Matignehi. Lord Brahma says to the demigods while describing the pastimes of Vaikuntha, he says, Yanna Vrajintagvido Rachananuvada Shrinvanti Enivashiyaha Kukata Matignehi. Yasusa the Bhagaihin Vibrata Sara Tantan Chipanti Asarnesu Tamastu Hanta. This is very beautiful shloka. Lord Brahma says, would you like to read this one, Mataji? This one. Would you like to? This is Yenna Vrajantagabhidho Rachananavada Shrinvanti Yeni Vishyaha Kukata Matignihi. If you are attached to material world, what happens? The intelligence will be polluted. Matignihi Yastu Sutta Hadbhagaihi Nubirata Sara Tantan Shipanti Asaranishu Tamasu Hanta. So if you read this one, Mataji, a translation.
Yeah, Prabhu. It is very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of the Vaikuntha planets but engage in topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilder one's intelligence. Those who give up the topics of Vaikuntha and take to talk of the material world are thrown into the darkest region of ignorance.
Yes. So this is mentality is described here. Kukata matignihi. Intelligence is bewildered by the unworthy words. We do not speak anything which is not Krishna consciousness, as in a high level statement. Everything else which is not Krishna consciousness things, it is a bewildering thing. And again, here he mentions Kapilideva Bhagavan. He mentions that one. There is further. Would you like to read this one, Mataji? What is that one? I think. Yes, 19th shloka. Nunam dhaiveena vihata yech achyuta kata sudham hitva shrinvanti asadghataha pureshimyo vidbhujaha. Would you like to read this translation?
Yeah, such persons are condemned by the supreme order of the Lord because they are averse to the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are compared to stool eating hogs. Oh dear. They give up hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord and indulge in hearing of the abominable activities of materialistic persons.
Would you like to
Okay.
reflect any thing, Mataji?
Sorry, Prabhu.
Would you like to reflect by your understandings from these two shlokas?
Yeah. I think we should not entangle in the material world because Prabhupada is comparing with the animals, okay, who are just entangled and also not doing the right things.
It's Kapil
So
Bhagwan. It is
sorry,
Kapil Bhagwan.
Kapil Bhagwan is clearly mentioning, okay, that is not the right thing. Those people never get the mercy of divine supreme Godhead because their complete focus and their mind is completely okay deviated from the supreme Godhead, and even they can't get an opportunity to hear about the Godhead also because they are completely submerged in the materialistic things and all. And also they are just as good as animals, okay, now without any senses doing the things. So that is how Kapil Bhagwan is comparing these guys.
Yes, very nice, Mataji.
Thank you,
And
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I think so there is, it is again, here one is the stool eating hogs. Here it is mentioned.
Yeah.
And would you like to read another shloka, Mataji? Yes. Swabhik viraho pushtrakarehi samstaha purushaha pasuho naitkarna patopeto jatunama gadagrajaha.
Yeah. Men who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses prize those men who never listen to the transcendental pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, the deliverer from evils. Mm. Okay.
So yes, sometimes we may appreciate one person. He is doing a good, well done. He is doing a really good job, but he is not a devotee. And people who are praising, they're comparing like a dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. They praise those men who are never listened to the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna. So what it means, we never appreciate any one of the materialistic person, either chief minister, president of America, or anyone else, or the society, if they are not the devotees of Krishna. We praise Narendra Modi because he is a devotee of Krishna.
Correct, Prabhu. Yeah.
We do not praise anyone else. We praise who is a devotee of the Lord. If you are praising someone else, then that person may be one of these four categories. Sometimes, okay, I have done some charity in the society here, but it is not Krishna consciousness. What it means, but there it is one of the. For some of the pious activities by materialistic platform, we think it is good and pious. But without Krishna consciousness, everything is not good thing. Our Acharya says, everything in this material world, what is good or what is not good, both are not good, except devotional service of the Lord. Okay, coming to that conviction, then that person, he will engage in the chanting of 16 rounds every day, follow the regulative principles, associate with the devotees, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha. Among the devotees association, he will make his life perfect. And he will elevate himself, and also he will elevate all the family members and coming Sahodaran and his relatives, everyone else. Uddhritya Koti Purushan, Vaikuntam Yati Sunishchitam. He will elevate many other people. He will go to his path to the Vaikuntha Loka is fixed. Sunishchitam. Brahma Mahapurana.
Can I ask one question, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. the Supreme God he himself created all the planets and also like all like prototyping of Mahavishnu, Shambhu, and also everyone. So when he's creating the like living entities in this material world, the God he himself would have given the good heart and mind to create to do the devotional service, isn't it? Then the complete world is peace, and everyone chant him and praise him, and everyone obeys what he really wanted to see in his like his children,
Yes,
isn't it, Prabhu?
yes, that is very good question. That is one of the Vidura's question he asked about Vidura in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the
Oh,
Vidura,
okay,
we are in the 8th chapter. In the 7th chapter, Vidura's further questions. So his question was that sinful activity.
okay,
People are engaged in, even the Lord is in the heart of uh, all the living entities. How these living entities are engaging in the sinful activities? Can you please explain this one, Maitreya Muni? I'm bewildering. Even though in the presence of the Lord, how can these sinful activities takes place? So here he mentions this one like they were even Arjuna asked the same question to Krishna. How can a living entity forcefully, even though he does not want, he is forced to do particular activities? Then Krishna says that one, Kama Yesha Krodha Yesha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. Deeply rooted Kama Yesha Krodha Yesha. Kama is a desire and Krodha is anger. So because they are deeply rooted, because of that he is taking through, because of those desires, material nature orchestrates the, okay, this is your home, this is your wife, this is your children, this is your village and city, and this is where your desires will be fulfilled. It orchestrates all the activities. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Because it is a desire. When our desires are completely spiritualized, then dehopi daivashikaha kalu karma yavat swarambakam pratisamikhyata eva sasuhu. He will come under the jurisdiction of Krishna. And what Krishna will do? He will give all Krishna's service. Krishna service, if it is great, he will give liberation to the living entities, but not the devotional service. By devotional service to Krishna, Krishna will be conditioned as well. Muktin dadati karihichet sma na bhakti yogam. He does not give bhakti easily to everyone.
oh, okay.
Bhakti, it does not, Krishna does not give bhakti. So many people, why many people, even though they know Krishna, they are not engaging in the, they do not follow tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmari jhita mayarpita mano buddhir mam ye veshisya samsayaha manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam ye veshisi yukta evam atman mat parayanaha sarvadharman parityajya mam yekam saranam raja, mam yekam saranam raja, only to me, not anyone else. Mam ekam saranam raja aham tvam sarvapaptibhyo mokshishami masucha. Krishna boldly saying that one statement. Why people are not taking it? So because if they take, they will become the devotees. But they do not take it. They do not want to be servant of the Lord. This is their Lord. They wanted to lord it over material nature. They do not want to be servant. Everyone wanted to be master. They do not want to be a servant. But they do not understand because they falsely think that I am the lord of this house, I am the lord of this world, I am the lord of this my wife, I am the lord of these children, I am the lord of this property, something like he thinks, and then he serves them. And actually he doesn't know, he doesn't realize that he is a slave of all those things, but he is falsely reflecting himself that I am the master, but actually he is a slave. For his livelihood, he does not need to do all these things. But he is doing thinking that this is Atmajaya Sudhagar Pasudravina Bandhushu. Niroda Mola Hridaya Atmanum Bahumanyate. He thinks that I am the greatest fortunate person. This is my child. I am living very happily like that. And then he works for everyone else, whom he thinks that he is the master. But if I become a servant of Krishna, what happens? He will serve only Krishna. And then by serving Krishna, he is freed from all kinds of material obligations. Freed from all the material obligations. Then if someone says that either he says something, he doesn't worry about it because he's nothing to do with them. And that does not mean he does not love other living entities, family member. Then he will love with responsibility, without any sense gratification. He looks after his family members with real love, how it looks. At the moment, love is based on the material plan. You are my child. I have given this body. I have raised you, and you are my husband. I can say anything to you. This is on the bodily platform. When we understand when we become devotees of the Lord, then we see these are not my relatives. They are the children of the God. And in particular circumstances, we have come in existence with particular relations. And Mansaitani Bhutani Pranimed Bahumanayan. Each one respect other living entity. Wife respect husband, husband respect wife and children, everyone according to their desires. Everyone's desires are different. The Krishna consciousness, it connects everyone. Then we act with a duty bound, not based on the bodily things. So here everything is deeply rooted in desires. That's why the living entities forget and they commit so many sinful activities. Even if Lord is present, भूतेन्द्रिय अंतःकरणात् प्रधान जीव संजितात् आत्मा तथा पृथक द्रष्टा भगवान ब्रह्म संजितः. The Lord is the drashta. He is the overseer. But living entity having this, utilizing all this bhutendri antahkaranat, the senses and mind, intelligence and ego for his sense gratification. That is called jiva, because those desires are there. Atma tata prudak drashta Bhagavan Brahma Sanchitaha, who is the overseer, who is witnessing all these activities of a living entity and looking when this person is going to look towards me. It is waiting. Upadrashta Anumanta cha bhatta bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti chapyukto Prukuteh Purushaha Paraha. The Lord is beyond this material nature. He is staying there. He is Upadrashta, overseer. Anumanta, he is giving permission to the living entity to experience those pleasures. Bhatta Bhokta Maheshwaraha. So these are given in the Vedic injunctions. So if Lord has given he has given to his devotees, they're all situated in the spiritual world. Tripadasya Amrutam Dhivi, Padosya Bhutani. One part of the fourth in his creation, 1/4 or 1/4. Padosya as Bhutani. They are coming into this material world because of desires. And 3 parts of the living entities, they are in the spiritual world. Tripadasya Amrutam Divi. And here, for the sake of one part of the living entities, the Lord appears in this material world to bring them back to the spiritual world. So that is the coming from again Purusha Suktam from the Rigveda mantra.
Thanks, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. One simple question, it has got lots of philosophy behind it.
Yes, Mahaprabhu. But you have got good knowledge to connect from all places to clearly explain us, Prabhu. That is really appreciated, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions, dear devotee?
Yeah, Prabhu, I have question. So how to win with Maya, Prabhu? It seems Maya is dragging us down and wants to keep us in this material world. It's a big struggle. So what should we do?
This is again Kapil Bhagavan describes that one Bhakti Yogena. So again, let us go to that particular shloka. Let me just bring that one. There he says that Hatojasam Prakritim cha Hatavojasam Hata. Okay, this one he says that the Prakritim cha Hatavojasam Jnana Vairagyuktena Bhakti Yogena Chatmana Paripasiri Udasinam Prakritim cha Hatavojasam. Would you like to read the translation, Mataji?
Yeah, in that position of self-realization, by practice of knowledge and renunciation in devotional service, one sees everything in the right perspective. He becomes indifferent to material existence, and the material influence acts less powerfully upon him. But there are so many problems with the health and all, Prabhu. Health is the main. When you become old, you every day you becoming old, and these diseases are, pulling you back. It's such a disturbance.
Yes, Mataji, that is idam shariram parinama peshalam patithyavasyam slatasandhi jajjaram kim aushadhihi klishyati modhurmate niramayam krishna rasayanam pibha. Niramayam krishna rasayanam pibha. Without any cessation, and drink the nectar of Krishna Katha. Chant names of the Lord. Kulashekara Alvars gives that Mukunda Mala Stotra, it is again essence of the Vedic injunctions. Do not stop chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Even the one is uh, not able to wake up from the bed, still he can chant. This remembering the Lord and remembering the pastimes of the Lord. It can happen even this is called 3 stages of the life is Swapna, Jagruti, Shushuptishu. Remembering of the Lord, it transcends all the 3 stages. We can Prabhupada gives that description in the first canto, I think 18th chapter, where Shemik Rishi, he was transcending this material nature. Even the Parikshit Maharaj was going to that person, Shemik Rishi, and he was asking for water, and then he did not come out. He is in the deep. He was in the outside of the 3 stages, transcendental situation. So that can happen. It is irrespective of the material nature. And this is Jnana Vairagya Yuktena. Jnana is the knowledge. And it is Jnana. We also know Jnana. What is Jnana? Becoming a knowing Krishna consciousness, Jnana. And also how that is convicted. If you are in the proper knowledge, then I must be chanting and Hare Krishna Mahamantra, knowing that it is statement of Krishna. That is the knowledge. And Krishna says this one, I simply follow it. That is jnana. No further speculations. Santa evasi chindanti manovyasanga muktibihi. And they completely cut off all the mental speculations. And vairagya, detached from the material entanglement. Jnana vairagyuktena bhakti yuktena chatmana. Engaging oneself in the devotional service. Here, paripasyati udasinam prakritim cha hatojasam. Then material nature or maya, prakritim cha hatavojism, it cannot put it influence on that person. It may just, sometimes one may go through the fever or so many things, but he does not stop chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That can go. Even though he cannot take beats in the hand, but he is remembering it is goes chanting and going on in the mind. That goes further. But that is one side. And what about other people, materialistic people? Sayanaha parisochatbihi parivitaha swabundhubihi vachimanopi na brute kalapasha vasham gataha. The people who are not devotees, he is sayanaha parisochatbihi, lying on the bed and crying for something. Paritam swabundhubihi, surrounded by his family members and relatives to speak in his last moments. That is his desires. And he wanted to speak so many things about the financial matters and look after your health and your children like that. For that purpose, he wanted to speak to them. Vachimano pinna brute, he cannot speak even those things. Kala pasha vasham gataha. His body is already came under the influence of the time. Kala pasha vasham gataha. He cannot do anything. He cannot chant. He is even such situated by family members and in the hospital, surrounded by so many ways and injections going into medical. What can he speak? He has not used his words. Pranaihi addaihi diya vacha shreya acharanam sada. This is etavat janma sapalyam deheshu iha dehinam. Pranaihi addaihi diya vacha shreya acharanam sada. That is the auspicious thing. Use all your words, money, intelligence, and your life in the service of the Lord. Shreyaha. Shreyaha means all auspicious things. Priyaha means which is giving immediate pleasure. He does not engage in immediate pleasures. He will use for the eternal things. Acharanam sada. This is Krishna consciousness. Automatically, it comes, everything comes in the association of the devotees. Devotees, they hear and they follow.
Okay. Thank you. And you always say, I mean, in your classes about charity, charity is not important. Krishna consciousness is important, but uh, because of the charity only, so many temples were built in Vrindavan. If I'm not sure those kings who made it, they were um, Krishna consciousness or no, but they did lot of charity, and so how about them then?
Yes, Mataji. So it's a good question. Here, charity for the sake of Krishna consciousness. That is transcendental. That is Neha Bikramana Sosti Pratyavayo na vidyate. If you do something for Krishna, there is no loss in that endeavor. And Prabhupada described that one. And Krishna says, Hare Krishna. So yajna dana tapa karma. So one should not renounce those activities, but they need to do it in Krishna consciousness, not outside of Krishna consciousness. Then it will purify their existence. Pavanani manishinam. Even though it will purify the great souls. It will purify the great souls. Again, it is in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks those statements. One must always perform yajna, dana, tapaha, karma. Krishna practically showed in his day-to-day life. When we're reading a Krishna book, the 70th chapter of Krishna book, there his activities, we see he wakes up 3 hours hours before Brahma Muhurta. He performs charity, giving the cows to the Brahmanas. And here Krishna is doing for the sake of as a let me just show that shloka, that one. He says that one for the sake of model to the entire world. Model. If he does not, if yadhyada charati shrestha tat deve turunaraha sayat pramanam kurute lokaha tad anuvattate. It is the pramana. Here in the Krishna book, he says that one. Let me just show that. So Krishna says to Narada Muni that, Narada Muni, he sees Krishna that doing so many different activities in his families, in different houses. And then he knows that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna receives him as a Brahmana and washes his feet. And he wanted to do Argya, Padya, Pada Sauchana, all those things to Narada Muni. And then Narada Muni was bewildering. And at the end, Krishna says to Narada Muni, my dear son, so he said, Krishna says, my dear Narada, O sage among the demigods, You know that I am the supreme instructor and perfect follower of the religious principles, as well as the supreme enforcer of such principles. I am therefore personally executing such religious principles in order to teach the whole world how to act. My dear son, Krishna is addressing Narada Muni. My dear son, it is my desire that you not be bewildered by such demonstrations of my internal energy. So Krishna exhibited to as a pramanam, as a model for everyone. Yad yadacharati sreshtaha. And then here Prabhupada again, yajna dana tapah karma mani pavanani manishinam. Krishna described that one in the 18th chapter. One should not renounce all his activities. He has to do all these activities in Krishna consciousness. So Arjuna asked that yajna yajnadana tapah karma. So here chadhyam dosha tadjiti eke karma prayuhu manishinaha yajnadana tapah karma nat chadhyam iti chapare. Some learned men declared that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty, yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. And then Krishna says further, O best of the Bharats, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures is to be of three kinds. Krishna says here, Yajna dana tapah karma natyajam karyam yevatat yajna danam tapah saiva pavanani manishinam. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up, they must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. Here, Prabhupada also giving that enlightenment further. One must do all these activities in Krishna consciousness. We can respect other demigods in Krishna consciousness. If we connect everything to Krishna, then things will become correct and perfect. They will be aligned. Why I am worshipping Lord Ganesha? So Lord Ganesha, he has compiled Mahabharata, and while Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Krishna, he was writing, and his condition is one has to understand each and every line of the word, and then Lord Ganesha accepts that. When he writes, he also written Vishnu Sahasranama and also Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Ganesha, he is the servant of the Lord. He knows that. In such a way, he also takes the Yatpada Pallavayugam Vinidharikum Bhadbhande Pranama Samye Taganadirajaha. He has got on top of his head the footprints of the Lord. And because of that, he got the potency to remove the obstacles in the people of material world. In such a, if we understand that one, we see in connecting to the Krishna, then you respecting Lord Ganesha and offering a flower to Ganesha, no harm. And going to Durga Devi and then offering a flower or fruits or giving something, it is no harm when we understand that Srishti Siddhi Pralaya Sadhana Siktareka Chaye Vyasya Bhunani Vibhatti Durga Ichchanurupam Apiyasya Cha Cheshtate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. She carries out Srishti Siddhi Pralaya Sadhana, everything on the will of the Krishna. Then there is no harm. So this Yajna Dana Tapaha Karma, giving charity in Krishna consciousness, no harm. It purifies even the great souls.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other questions or reflections, dear devotees? Asha Mataji, would you like to add anything?
No, Prabhu. I'm listening and I'm learning. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so dear devotees, we are a few minutes past 9 o'clock. If you're all happy, then we shall conclude our session and continue with the japa where it is possible.
Thank you, Prabhu, for this very thought-provoking discussions and on Krishna consciousness, its various aspects. It's so huge and big with a little mind. We started so late. It'll take time to understand, but we pray that everybody and feel very fortunate that all this knowledge, it's everywhere, and Lord has appeared in his personal form uh, to remind everybody, but only few get attracted towards Krishna consciousness in that way. For this causeless mercy of the Lord, we are very thankful, and thankful to you for guiding us 7 days of the week almost so dedicatedly and repeating the same knowledge. We all ask maybe the same questions at different times, and you patiently explain it and remove our misconceptions. So we are always so grateful to you. So let's all say, please, three loud Hari Bols to Prabhu. Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol,
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mataji. It is all your increase. It is bringing just skimming through the scriptures and your questions. It will bring out the nectar from the scriptures. And I am also being enlightened with your questions. Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuis, all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas Krishna. Okay. Thank you so much.
Prabhu, before we end, I'm not asking for today, but just quickly wanted to ask, this on the Goloka chart, right, where we have all the different dvipa, the 7 oceans and the 7 dvipas. So have you, sometimes I miss less sessions. So have you explained in any of your earlier video session, have you explained this or somewhere? Because the picture we try to, because I still don't have the hard copy, so when we zoom it, after one point, like Sumeru on the top, everything is not very clear. So do you have any, I don't want to ask, it's already we got some other activities, but is there any session, do you remember anything where so that I can go through it and learn, try to understand, absorb the knowledge myself?
So this one, Sumeru Mountain, it is, we have not gone very detailed, Mataji, yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was having the desire to understand this. Along with, we are understanding Hiranyagarbha, Shambhu, Vishnu, and this all the top thing. This part also, I wanted to have some. Understand, but is it is it in the Brahma Samhita, which we will come across later, or in detail, or have you? You said you haven't covered, so.
So this one, as part of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, there Sukadeva Goswami describes for the Parikshit Maharaj inquires what is the size of the universe, how much length, width, and how it is divided. There he gives more elaborations here.
Okay. Yeah, I have briefly read about that, but this picture helps to understand. But on top of the Sumeru, it's because PDF can only zoom in so much. It's after a point, it cannot be read. So yeah.
But here, this one it gives it is a high definition one.
No, this one. No. And not this. Not till here, Prabhu. And if you scroll up a bit, please. On the top, the Sumeru. This all the small ones can't read anything.
Yes, this is Amravati. This is Samyam.
Yeah, I can't see. That's the thing.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, it is very small, but yes, we will go through on one day those things.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, please. Yeah, and because you have shown that you have got the picture. Maybe on the top, if you can take the picture of this one. In your house. Saying about the physical one, the picture you have on your wall. If you can take the picture of the top of the Sumeru and then share, because on the internet also I'm trying to find, but it's hazy, so can't read. I mean, what you were saying, Amravati, and also that part is not very clear. So if you can just share, Prabhu, it will be really nice.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Shall conclude. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu.
Patitanam
Pavani
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo Namo
Ananta
Anantakoti Vaishnavebhyo
की जय शिला प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai. Hare Krishna.
श्री ब्रह्म संहिता की जय
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.